Ready to live at the higher vibrations, where peace, love, joy, and good health are the daily standard? That's what this show is all about. Welcome to Vibe. And here's your host, Robin Openshaw.
Hi, Robin Openshaw here, the Green Smoothie Girl online for almost 20 years now. For 2 decades, I was what you might call a gold stacker. Not because I love shiny things, but because I trusted the dollar less and less the more I learned. I had learned that the Federal Reserve isn't actually federal, was founded in 1913, and operates as a private banking cartel controlling America's money system. I had learned that countries stack gold against the collapse of fiat currency systems like the dollar, and that every fiat currency system in history has failed. Usually they last 100 to 250 years, so like a lot of people, I did what I thought was prudent. I slowly stacked gold and silver year after year, believing that one day, if I ever needed it, gold would be there for me. And then I went to sell it. That's when I discovered the part about gold no one talks about. Selling gold is not what you think. Here's the expectation most retail gold buyers have. You buy gold. Gold goes up. You walk into a bullion dealer. You get spot price. Your profit is the difference. Simple. That is not how it works. First of all, nobody knows how much gold is out there in the global economy. How could you ever know? Unlike the triple ledger distributed all over the world Bitcoin has, it's impossible to know the actual inventory levels of any state player or the global supply. When I decided to sell, I had to call 7 different gold and silver dealers. 7. When I finally found someone to buy it, and keep in mind this was a year ago, not in a financial Armageddon situation where people are tapped out, where you're trying to sell to obtain the dollars you need to actually buy things. Because the other 6 either didn't want that much inventory, or didn't have the money in the bank to buy it, or would only buy certain products, and the only place I found wanting to buy was a long distance away, and they weren't going to pay anywhere near spot price. Gold isn't not a market that behaves like people think it does. Yes, I know gold has just passed 5,000 an ounce, and I understand that the BRICS countries are buying it up. But a country doesn't have to worry that their government will seize their gold. After all, they are the government. The only way they lose their gold is in an invasion where their gold vault is taken by brute force, which has happened many times in history, of course. Whereas Teddy Roosevelt appealed to Americans' patriotism to hand over their gold, it was presented like the honorable thing to do, only it was at the point of a gun, because you'd go to jail and buy a $10,000 fine if you didn't. One thing I realized when I went to sell my gold, and they were testing every single piece to make sure it's real gold, is that on the buying side, I just had to take the seller's word for it, that what I was paying a large amount of money for was actually solid gold. But when you go to sell, I learned from personal experience that they have sophisticated, expensive equipment to test your gold. They will not take it if it's not. Limited buyers, limited cash, limited willingness, long distances. And here's something else I didn't know. Do not walk around the back of the building. When I finally found a dealer willing to buy, I pulled up and walked around the back of the building with my metals. My husband, as I got out of the car, said, "This is a bad idea." The 6 employees inside said, "That was a really bad idea." They locked the front door with a deadbolt, and we sat there with them while they inventoried and tested gold and silver for 7 hours before we made the long trek home, with them wiring the money to my bank. Poking around online, I've learned bullion dealers are getting very skittish about shipping gold and silver, and that some retail buyers experience a 4-step process that takes 3 and 4 weeks before gold or silver is in their possession now. You, the retail buyer, are going to pay for all those middlemen and the insurance to get it to you. Does this really seem like the money of the future to you? This is the best we can do in the digital age. What if there's a much, much more secure way to store value with built-in ironclad scarcity and a triple ledger anyone can look at? Precious metals dealers are security first. The gold dealer spent the entire day with the doors locked, ignoring when someone came to knock, testing every ounce of silver, testing every gram of gold, verifying authenticity, inventorying everything. This is normal. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just letting you know what to expect. And after all of that, they paid me far less than spot price. Keep in mind all of this was after stashing it for 20 years, moving 7 times with my safe each time including moving that big heavy thing across the country. And then being anxious while on vacation that I'd come home to a break-in, and if someone broke in, that safe told them right where to find it. Everyone who owns gold thinks about this eventually, but very few talk about it. The many YouTube channels singing the praises of gold and silver, they're bullion dealers. I wouldn't even be talking about the gold issue for security reasons, except that I don't even have it anymore. You don't think that far down the road when you realize how broken money and banks are and start buying gold because it's all you know. You start thinking about it when you get deeper into the journey, and that gold in a safe in your house is making you nervous. Just out of curiosity, the last 2 years, I've been asking investors who are awake about the scam that is the stock and bond markets. Have you ever known anyone who sold their gold? So far, everyone has said no. Out of about 20 people I've asked. Now, pretty much out of gold besides a small hedge, nobody can get at my net worth by kidnapping someone close to me, and nobody can break in and take it. Just like nobody breaks into your house to steal the equity in your house. The hidden exit tax. The spread. Buy price. Spread, sell price. This is the part no one emphasizes enough. Gold has what I call a hidden exit tax. It's called the bid-ask spread. You buy at retail, but you sell at wholesale. It's kind of like when you buy a new car, you know, as you drive that car off the lot, you've just lost thousands of dollars in value for the privilege of that first few months of enjoying having a brand new car. That spread, that is your profit if you hold it for many years and sell at the right time. It can be 10% or more, sometimes much more, depending on the product, the dealer, and market conditions. Also, sometimes you have to pay to transport it and insure it, and more bullion dealers just won't ship their product. So if you think gold is something you can easily flip or liquidate without loss, it isn't. This is why gold may make sense for nation states, but not always for individuals. Nation states trade in massive volumes, standardized bars, wholesale markets, tight spreads, and they have access to their own ships or airplanes to transport it. Retail investors are in the highest friction part of the market. Silver I'm more a fan of, as it has industrial uses, and has seen a run-up in recent months, which I think is here to stay, because of its being critical in the Apple phone, solar, electric vehicles, and electronics worldwide. The issue with silver is that it's big and bulky to store much of your net worth in, and again, a security hazard. Also, while it's the talk of the town right now, before that, I toted it around for 14 years while it really didn't move. People holding silver, physically or paper silver, shares in mining, or silver ETFs, got demoralized during that time. Stop watching Bitcoin hit new highs from the sidelines while wondering if you're too late, or feeling bad that you first heard about it when it was $8,000 and now it's far more than 10x that much. You ready for our core theory for Bitcoin in 2026? Come to class for free on Wednesday to try out our classes. My co-teacher and I both have thousands of hours of research, each on this 17-year-old perfect money asset, Bitcoin. Join us and see if we can't convince you why this is your escape hatch from the fact that the money printers are going to turn on full blast throughout 2026. We'll tell you why this happens, and we'll tell you why this is so good for Bitcoin. We'll explain why the money printer cranking up, which is happening as we speak, is good for those holding their excess energy outside the failing dollar. The news is full of noise and the market is full of gurus. But what if you could actually understand the strategy behind the charts? Every Wednesday night, I host the Bitcoin Insiders class. This is where we strip away the hype and focus on real financial freedom and educate you, meeting you where you are, even if you're brand new. We talk market cycles, self-custody, where you own and control your Bitcoin outside a bank or a company, and how to position yourself in the greatest wealth transfer of our lifetime. In 5 years, it will be too late to get in on the upside. My amazing co-teacher and I want to help more people take action for their freedom. I'm giving you a free pass to join us this Wednesday. Check out the link to sign up, and we'll send you the Zoom link. No fluff, no holding anything back. Wouldn't you love to hear about the one and only true free market and why it matters so much there cannot be more than 21 million Bitcoin? 95 million people own some. Come learn why. Grab your ticket to a free class this Wednesday, and I'll see you there. What about using gold as money? But gold is legal tender in Florida. Some people will say, but Robin, gold is legal tender in Florida. Yes, on paper. A few other states too. Try buying groceries with it. Stores aren't set up for it, cashiers won't take it, and no one wants to give you dollars as change, even though dollars are losing value by the day, while gold goes up. I mean, I went to a place recently that wouldn't take any credit card besides the ones you can tap. And 2 Eastern European countries I went to last summer took no cash. All financial transactions were electronic. I ask again, so do gold and silver really seem like the money of the future? With their problems with authentication, being able to ship them, or especially cross national borders with them, and there being the #1 target of thieves? So gold doesn't function as money in daily life, regardless of the law on the books. And in a real economic crisis, worse than what we're in now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Gold dealers won't have the money then either. If they struggle to buy inventory now, what do you think happens during panic? So I can't take my $5,000 gold ounce into the store and shave off a bit for my groceries. And all I'm left to do is try to find someone who wants to buy my gold, possibly in another state. The safety reality of the gold business. I know a few gold dealers personally. One former neighbor of mine runs a shop that pretends to sell antiques and used junk. That's the sign out front. The gold buying happens in the back, for obvious reasons. And even so, they were once robbed by the boyfriend of an employee. Even legitimate dealers are terrified to hold much inventory. The dealer I drove 90 minutes to and from when I walked around from the back of the building, they freaked out and I said, "But you have a police department next door." I'm sure they wanted that location for that reason. But they all also thought I was crazy for walking 100 steps to their front door. So yes, gold is valuable. It's valuable because of widespread public perception that it's valuable. Technically, Elon Musk could find gold on Mars, or on asteroids, he has said he wants to. Or gold deposits could be found that allow the market to be flooded with gold. Probably not. It's really labor and mechanical mining intensive. But there's a lot more limitation on adding to the gold in the world than the issue we face with fiat currencies, paper-backed by nothing, printed into existence by governments. But it's also dangerous to store. Dangerous to transport, dangerous to advertise, expensive to store in a vault. About $3,500 a year for a small drawer, your bank does not allow it or insure it in a safety deposit box. Retail buyers picture gold making them feel secure and being a tangible, valuable asset, giving them peace about the future. That wasn't my experience. Why I'm less interested in gold now. Why my thinking changed after 20 years, I'm personally less interested in gold than I used to be. For 3 big reasons besides the very instructive experience I had selling it that I've already explained. First, gold mining is often a dirty industry. A significant amount of gold is mined using child labor, involuntary labor, and environmentally destructive practices that matters to me. Second, and this one is rarely discussed, gold was illegal to own in the United States for 41 of the last 100 years. Thank you, Roosevelt. And then Nixon finished the job. They only gave gold back to the public after it no longer backed the dollar. And by the way, Switzerland was the last country to abandon the gold standard in 1999. Nobody's fiat currency is backed by gold. BRICS countries and other central banks definitely stockpile gold. We have this place called Fort Knox that is rumored to be full of gold, but nobody has proven it in my lifetime. Donald Trump and Elon Musk talked about it a year ago, but it never happened. Gold is only allowed when it no longer threatens the system. That should tell you something. Third, I discovered Bitcoin, which has a triple public ledger, a hard cap of 21 million coins that are infinitely divisible and which makes much more sense in an increasingly digital world. And the way I custody it means I don't have to fear break-ins. You can't understand Bitcoin without putting some time in, and I teach on it every Wednesday. I'd love for you to join our classes. Check out the link I'm sharing for a free class to check it out. I'm not saying gold has no place. I'm saying people deserve the full picture. Gold is easy to buy, harder to sell, expensive to exit, illiquid in practice, risky to store, politically vulnerable, a much better idea for countries than for citizens. And that reality does not match the fantasy most retail buyers are sold. Did you know that the U.S. had to send planes loaded with gold to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, to keep the oil flowing year after year? The more I learned about gold, the more I saw it as a nation-states game, to control and extract from each other. If you're going to own gold, own it with eyes wide open. because what protects you shouldn't surprise you when you try to use it. I teach every Wednesday about how I store my life's energy toward the future and towards my children's future in a way that keeps my family and my children safe, where I don't have to fear going on vacation and leaving my house. If you're concerned that banks are predatory and the money is broken, there is a very hopeful path forward, and it's far more progressive than the yellow metal that costs 10 to 20% of its value just to move it across an ocean or even across the country. Then there's the fact that 400 years ago, it spectacularly failed humanity. The King of Spain sent a ship with gold to the Netherlands to fund its army. The reason that the Dutch are Protestant still, and not Catholic, is that the Queen of England stole the ship and kept the gold. So Spain's effort to take the Netherlands failed. This is just one notable example. But you've seen the way the world is going. Do you really think the shiny yellow metal is our best future? Come learn with us in Bitcoin Insiders class. Even if you own some, you probably need to learn more about it, or you'll just sell it when it starts to skyrocket. You won't hold it through its volatility for it to change and anchor your life. You should learn not just why to hold and keep holding and how to tap it for cash as needed without selling it and causing a taxable event, but also how you can hold it so that you don't have to fear the wrench attack or someone doing something weird to hold it for ransom or steal it. Finally, somebody dummy-proofed money 17 years ago. Join us on Wednesdays and start learning with us. I'm sharing a link with you that lets you attend a free class. I'll see you in class this Wednesday.